Hey guys, so in the last class we have seen the DHCP configurations, right? And the DHCP configuration will look like this: IP DHCP pool, and you can define the pool name as a CCNA. In this network, we can assign the pool subnet, right? You can also use this command network 191.168.1.0/24. Okay, it's totally up to you. This is for the LAN communications. If you're not assigned for the WAN communication, you need to define the default gateway, and you need to define the DNS server information as well. You can define the DNS server 6.6.6 as well as you can define the secondary DNS server 8.8.8.8. The first one will become the primary and second will automatically go for the secondary. So if the primary will be not appear, the secondary will be ticked. Okay. Then after that, we have seen the packets. We have gone through the packets of the DHCP or DORA process, right? Discover packet. Then we have seen the offer packet. Then we have seen the request packet. And then we have seen the acknowledge packet. And one is the release packet. This packet is a unicast. Okay. What is the port number used by the client and server? 67. Done. और क्या था? UDP protocol number 17. Okay. Anything else? No. सही था. चलो बताओ packet structure. If the client will initiate, right? If the client will initiate the discover packet, what will be the source MAC address? A, the client MAC address, destination MAC address FFF 0x080, source IP, destination IP, protocol number, source port number, destination port number, discover packet. Done. What is the use of magic cookies? What is magic cookies? It contains extra information, right, about client and server. Depend on the configuration, right? Depend on configuration, your cookies will change, right? Change. For example, जॉब कर रहा है ना, तो सुबह जॉब नहीं जाता है, वर्क फ्रॉम किताब कॉपी लैपटॉप कुछ नहीं, किताब कॉपी लैपटॉप किताब कॉपी अच्छा मैं नहीं बढ़ रहा है, कोई दिक्कत नहीं. Guys, have a look. I'm going to make this person is a router. Okay, so change symbol and this is router, right? Now try to understand this. The very important. Okay, this thing you will never get in the books, right? So just pay attention. R2, right? IP DHCP debug IP DHCP server. We have a class, we have events, and we have a linkage. That's it. Interface 0/0 IP address will be, first of all, interface 0/0 IP address will be 192.168.1.100/24. No shutdown. IP DHCP pool and pool name will be ABC, right? Network will be 192.168.1.0/24. Done. Go on the client side, R1. Okay. What I'm going to do, I say the interface 0/0 no shutdown, IP address DHCP. हंसमुख ला रही है, हंसते हुए आते हैं बाबा रामदेव का योग देखो guys. Have a look. Offer packet, right? When we have this offer packet, and in this case, what happened? I'll paste over there. For this offer packet, what configuration I did on the router? To show history, right? This is the configuration for the server, right? And server is sending the, this is server configuration, and server is sending the offer packet to the client, right? To the router. What router is doing over there? Router will get the IP address on this particular interface 192.1.1, right? /24. What will be the routing table of router? See, 192.1.0/24 associated with the 0/0 interface. Try to understand. This information will be there, right? Of course, right? They will find the subnet mask information because in the DHCP we are going to send the subnet mask information as well as, right? Done. Now let's do one thing. At the same time, what happened? Just go to R1. I see the shutdown. Okay, if you see the do show IP route, I have this routing table, right? Right now, just go to R2 router, and what I'm going to tell this guy, hey, default router will be 100. That's my IP address of this router, right? This guy, as a default router, 100, right? Just go back to the R1, say shutdown. Let me refresh this one. Debug IP routing. Okay. Interface 0/0, no shutdown. Capture. Magic cookies. Same packet. And have a look at the difference. Do one thing. See the difference. What I did over there. Same configuration is there, right? On R2, do show history. Only the thing is that I put the default router. Now what happened? This guy is still giving the IP addressing to this person. Server is still giving the IP addressing to the client. At the same time, what happened? Do we have any option field over the three? No, I don't have option field. By putting this command, what client will do? They can communicate in the LAN. Understand, no? They can communicate with the LAN. Or this is my what? This is my router, right? And behind the router, what happened? We have a host connected over there, right? The PCs are user are connected over there, right? Okay. Now, try to understand. If I'm going to put this configuration, what is the reason to put the default order? So that they can communicate with the WAN. So that they can communicate with the WAN. Now, what is the basic requirement that router needs to provide the WAN communication? अबे राउटर का पूछ रहा हूँ, पीसी का नहीं पूछ रहा हूँ. गेटवे तो हो गया, और क्या मिलेगा? राउटिंग, राइट? राउटिंग तो रिक्वायर होगा ना. If the client will send the packet to the 8.8.8.8.8.7.7.6.6.6.5.5.5.1.1.1, how does this client will send this packet to this ISP, right? For that one, what router is going to do? Either it needs to maintain the complete routing information, or either you can put the default router, right? What DHCP is going to do in this case, try to understand what DHCP is going to do in this case. When if you configure this command, right, default order 1.100, it means that DHCP service is assuming, hey, the client is requesting for the default order. Immediately what happened? They will give the IP addressing. At the same time, what happened? They will give the one default route as well. They will get the one default route as well as. So I told you that depend on your configuration, right? Your magic cookies or option field will be changed. Do we have any option field 3 over there? I just put the default router. What happened? Option 3 will be added. Before this one, there's no option 3 is there. Now this person is giving the default route. So maybe you have a question here, law. Already, whenever you're going to connect with the ISP, right? Already they have a one default or 0 or 0 or 0 or 0 or 0 that has a AD number 1, right? That has a AD number 1. But when the DHCP server is giving the default route to the router, what they will put? This guy is going to put the AD value 254. And what is the use of AD value? AD value is just going to make a trustworthiness of the route, right? Lower AD always prefer. AD is a 8-bit number. Lower AD is always prefer 8-bit number. You can define from 0 to 255. You cannot assign 0 to any person because 0 is reserved for the connected route. 1 reserved for the static route. And 255 is reserved for the unknown route. Right? What happened? He's sending a default route as well as. Why they are sending the default route? Somehow, if the network admin has forget to configure default route towards the ISP, in that case, they will use this default route, right, to forward the traffic to the ISP. Somehow, if the network engineer forget to configure this default route manually, what DHCP server is going to do? They will give the one default route to the client so that they can use this default route to send the traffic for this particular network. That's why they made this AD value 254. If you already have a network admin default route that has the AD number 1, I will always use this guy, right? But if somehow this guy is not available, I will behave like a secondary. If the primary is available, I will always forward the packet through the primary. If the primary is not available, I will always go through the secondary, like a floating static node. So if you see, after putting the default or what happened, R1 is adding a, the next stop is pointing to what? Default gateway. What are the ADs happening? So if you see do show IP route now, I have a default route. At the same time, what happened? I have IP addressing. Do show IP route. Any questions? This is done by the this option field. Option number 3. I'm going to use this default route to forward the packet to the internet. Because it's not ISP. Whenever you're taking a public IP address from the ISP, what ISP is doing? They are giving through the DHCP as well as, right? So in that case, they are using this this default route. I'll tell you one thing as well as, OS पे पढ़ा है? Have you read the OSPF? In
So
OSPF,
external,
yeah,
will you say something?
1 minute. Let me complete this one, and then you can ask me a question. In OSPF as well as, try to understand this part. In OSPF as well as, if you do external LSA, right, or we can say LSA 5 summarization, right, on the ASBR router, you will also get the same AD value. So for the summary address for the which guy LSA 5, you will get the same ID value. At the same time, DHCP default route, you will get the same AD value. So can we say like this? The AD value 1 is reserved for the static route, 0 is for connected, right? And 255 is reserved for the unknown route, right? And 254 is reserved for the DHCP route. At the same time, ASBR summary LSA 5 route, if you do the summarization on the ASBR route. It only happens, right? This default route only the router will get if you enable the, otherwise what happened? Previously, if you see, I was not getting the route. I only had connected route. That's I was getting from the IP address and summary mask information. But after adding the default, after adding the default gateway, I will have a default route as well. This point is clear. Yeah, questions. You know the metric, you know this thing. Okay, route तक wait करो. I hope you have learned in the CCN. CCN नहीं पढ़ा क्या ये सब? Then you have to wait for the routing. Otherwise, it will take 2 hours of the class, right? Yep. Who has asked the question, right? Any questions? Anyone know? Okay, chalo. Now, try to understand one thing. I'm not done with the timer right now. We have to discuss the timer as well as. Okay, I'll show you this command as well as how we can assign the DNS service also 8.8.8.8. The same time I can put the second DNS as well as. We'll take the second DNS as well as. Okay. Now, try to understand. This is my DHCP server, right? This is my DHCP server. On this DHCP server, what happened? We have this configuration. On this DHCP server, we have this DHCP configuration, right? Now, we have some client, right? We have some client. At the same time, we have some server. We have some client and we have some server. And these all are the present in the data center network. Right? All these guys present in the data center. So what happened through the switch, right? I provide the connectivity. So this guy, this guy, this guy, and this guy, right? So try to understand whatever the outside user are there, right? Or we can say that whatever the branch user, right? We have a multiple branch. We have a branch location in the Delhi, Bangalore, Pune, Calcutta, Patna, Jaipur, right? So whatever the peoples are present in the outside, right, network, right? They are trying to access this server. So if this user wants to trying to access this server, what is the basic need they have? Routing and IP addressing, right? The routing and IP addressing. Tell me one thing. If this guy will get the IP address through the DHCP, what happened? This IP will be keep changing, right? The IP address will be keep changing because it's a dynamic allocation. In a dynamic allocation, what happened? The IP will be changed, right? In that case, what I want, whenever this MAC address, right? The MAC address, for example, x.x.x, y, and z. This is the MAC address that belong to the server. What I'm going to do, I'm going to make this configuration on the server side. Okay, when this person, is going to make a request to, because in the offer a Discord packet, what happened? I'm sending the MAC address as well as, right? In Discord packet, I'm sending the MAC address as well as. What I'm telling that whenever this person is going to make a request to me, hey, I need a IP address. Whenever, doesn't matter. Whenever this server is making a request, hey, I need a IP address. In that case, what happened? I always need to allocate this IP to this guy. Always, doesn't matter. 1,000 SAM, I need to allocate the same IP address because I'm going to put the binding over there. I'm going to put the binding. In that case, what happened? So whatever the outside user will there, so they can always access this server. There's no issue will happen because the IP will be now constant. This IP will be now constant. This mechanism, right? This mechanism, you can say that I'm saying this thing as a private pool. According to the terminology, right? You can say this guy is a Discord packet. I'm seeing this mechanism as a option number 61, known as a client identifier. Can you see yesterday I told you why they are putting this interface number? There's reasons on behind it. I'm putting the interface number at the same time what I'm putting MAC address as well as. And this option number 61 is going to make this guy as a perfect. Whenever this guy is going to request the packet based on this field, right? Based on the option number 61, I need to allocate the IP to this guy. Every option has a different meaning, guys. So what I'm going to do over there, take example. I say that this is server, right? This is the server. And what I'm going to do on the server side, I'm going to create the one different pool, IP DHCP pool, like a private pool, right? Pool will be server. It's just a name, right? You can put the any name. And after that, I'm going to define the default router 100, right? As the client identifier. In the client identifier, I'm going to tell this person, hey, client identifier. So what is the meaning of 61? If you see the this flag, where's that one? Not this one. What information I need to put? The MAC address, right? But before putting the MAC address, I need to tell this person, hey, you are going to use the Ethernet technology. That's a 01. You remember yesterday, right? 01. I need to tell this person, hey, the MAC, the IP that I'm going to assign to this guy is going to use the Ethernet technology, right? 01. I'll let you know what happened if you're not going to put this 01. Don't worry about that. Right now, I'm giving the proper configuration 01. And after that, what happened? I need to use the MAC address of this person. Show IP interface 0/0 include BIA. What is the MAC address of this person? C203, right? C203 2088 then 00000. Gonna to C2.03.20.8800.0. Done. What network I'm going to use? Okay. Sorry, I need to use the host origin. Host. I want to define the 1.10 IP address. Do so run section DHCP. This guy host the IP that I'm going to assign 1.10 to which person? To this MAC address, right? What is the gateway for this person? I just need to go on the router number 3 now. That's our server we have. Right? Interface 0/0, no shutdown, and I see the IP address DHCP. What I'm going to tell this person? Client identifier. Which interface? Because in the option number 61, what I'm sending? Done. Which IP I'm getting over there? 110. The same IP I have allocated this guy, right? So from the child pool, what I'm taking? What is the parent pool we have? That's a ABC configure, right? The child pool that happened with the server 1, and I'm going to use the IP from this parent pool, right? This subnet, this IP. Now I got the IP address 110. Even if you put the shutdown command over there, let's refresh it. And say this guy no shutdown. Again, what happened? I will get the same IP 110. Put the shutdown. Refresh anytime, whatever the time you want to refresh, refresh it. Doesn't matter. Always this person will get the IP address 1.10. No shutdown. Exactly right, Javed. Done. Now, I'll tell you one thing. In your CCI lab exam, if you're operating for the CCI lab exam, doesn't matter if you go for the CCI security or CCI enterprise or CCI data center, right? Whatever the possible reason, that server will never get the proper IP address, because you know what happened, the client side, right? The client always try to ping 1 or 10, right? Client always try to ping 1 or 10. Let's see what happened, whatever the reasons that the PC will not get, the server will not get the 1 or 10 IP address. What I'm going to do first thing, go on the server side, client side, shut down this interface, go on the router, And what I'm going to do show run section DHCP. This guy. And what I'm going to do, as the client identifier, remove this guy. As the client identifier will be what? Just copy the MAC address without putting the Ethernet. Do show interface 0/0 include VIA. Copy the MAC address and paste it over there. Yeah. That's it. Command is accepted. Go back to the this guy. Put the no shutdown. It has to be received the. It has to be get the 1 or 10 IP address, right? What IP I'm getting? Configuration correct, right? I have a child pool. I have a child pool, right? If you see on R2, everything is perfect, right? What missing point is there? Ethernet. Ethernet type is missing, right? Just because of a simple mistake, I'm telling you, you don't have a much time in your examinations, right? You just have a like the 1 minute to and 2 minutes max to max to configure and troubleshoot this thing. Max to max, you will get the max to max. You will get the 2 to 3 minutes to resolve this part. And just making a simple mistake, and you see that we don't have a 0/1. What every person is doing in examination, right? They are looking the okay, we have a pool, we have a 1 or 10, everything is correct, right? And now the PC is not getting the IP address. Now the PC right now getting what IP address? 1 or 3. Can this user ping the 1 or 10? Of course not. 1 or 10 is not available, right? You will fail in the lab exam.
So will we know like this DHCP server will get IP address from the
Yeah,
server?
you will get the access. You will get the complete access.
No, my question is, see, we understood like there is a a misconfiguration
Hmm.
which we have to find.
Yeah.
But will we have an idea like this server will get a DHCP IP from the DHCP server? Because
No, no. This is the only DHCP. This DHCP server does not have any parent pool. This is the only one DHCP server over there. In
yes,
examinations, you will have a multiple DHCP server, but for each domain, because in examination, what happened? You will have a multiple companies are there, right? The lab will be there. They have a multiple companies are there, right? So in that 1 minute, let me show you this thing. Ek minute do. Pause. So if you just like I what I did, I'll tell you because the recording was paused. So I just changed the IP. I put the client identifier 01 Ethernet type with the proper MAC address, right? I just changed the identifier, host identifier. What happened? You are not getting the proper IP address. It has to be get the 1 or 10, right? So if you have this mistake, still you will not get the proper IP. Third mistake. So down. Go to the server side. Correct this IP. Host will be what I want to do 1.10/24. Done. And what I'm going to do, I said that no client identifier. Done. I say that client identifier just in the 1 bit. Done. Then do show run section DHCP. The MAC address is changed, right? I just put the 1 over there instead of 0, right? Now go to R1 3. No shutdown. So if the MAC is wrong configure, right? Done. Excuse me. Why are you laughing? What you don't know? ये भाई साहब मुझे पता ही नहीं तू हंस क्यों रहा है मैं तो ऐसे ही हंस रहा था ऐसा क्या चलो next point. Now let's do one thing. Let's go on a client side, server side. And what I'm going to do, I just remove the wrong IP, sorry, wrong MAC address. And I'm just going to provide the proper MAC address, right? Done. Go on R3, shut down. Okay. And what I'm going to do now, do so run. If you see mistake, done. IP address, DHCP. No, so done. What are we getting over there? 105. If you just have a look on the server side, we have a accurate configuration, right? IP is correct. Ethernet tab is also there, and MAC is also there. Every single thing is correct. Only the thing has changed on a client side. They forget to configure the client identifier, and that is going to represent that the option number 61. That is going to represent the option number 61. And if you forget this guy, right, you will never get the proper IP addressing. So the fourth number is what? If you forget to configure client identifier on client side, you will never get proper IP. Now let's do one thing. Go on a client side and set that shut down. Okay. Now the client side, what happened? I'm just going to interface. Do show in interface 0/0 include VIA, right? Then MAC address. Done. No shut. 1 minute. Shut. Okay. IP address DHCP. Client identifier 0/0. Right. Do show IP interface brief. Interface is shut down, right? Let's make it shut down. Reason. The person has manually changed the MAC address. So what happened? Is this matching with the banding database? See, do show run section DHCP. Is it matching with the banding database? C20320, right? 8800. It has a 8802. It's not matching, right? I will not get the proper IP addressing. So the fifth number is what? If MAC address is wrong configured on client side, you will not get proper IP address. All these are the type solution. Except this one, nothing is there. Except this one, nothing is there. Why I'm telling you this thing, guys, because do you know one thing? Last time, right, 3% has failed in the CCIE exam just because of this part. They did all the configurations, right? MPLS, IPsec, VPN, BGP, OSPF, redistribution, SNMP, spanning tree protocol, all this thing they did. Even they did the DHCP, right? Even they are able to ping the wrong IP addressing, but the person was not getting the proper IP addressing. If anything is missing over there, if anything is wrong configured, you will never get the proper IP address. And what Cisco is doing? Cisco made the wrong configuration on the plan. You're not supposed to be configured each and everything, right? They made something wrong and you have to correct this thing. All clear? Perfect. Can you explain the ether type missing? Ether type missing in the sense, Java with what? If you are not going to configure the 01 value, right? This value 01, right? You will never get the proper IP addressing, right? Because the client, the server will get confused which to which I'm going to allocate the IP addressing, right? To which client? If the client is belong to the Ethernet type or the serial link or they need the SDLC cables, so they are not going to allocate it. So they will allocate from the primary pool, not from the child pool. No, 0801. Type 0x01. That is the hex format of 01. वो नहीं डाला तुम्हें हेक्स यहाँ पे बाइंड नहीं डालना तुम्हें हेक्स नहीं डालना यहाँ पे यू आर नॉट गोइंग टू ऐसे ही बाइंड करना है 01 आगे लगा सकते नो ऐसा नहीं है तुम ऐसे ही बाइंड कर सकते हो जस्ट लाइक दैट यू कैन आल्सो बाइंड कर फिर मैक एड्रेस लिख सकते हो हाँ 01 लिख दो अब फिर मैक एड्रेस लिख दो लाइक दिस वन फॉर एग्जांपल यू आर नॉट गोइंग टू टाइप लाइक maybe this will be support but in examination this will work client identifier and you can put like a 01 right and dot you can put and put the complete MAC address. This will work. It will also work, right? Clip. Now, quick troubleshoot all of you guys. I'm just going to stop the shading and you need to solve this one. चालाकी मेरे से कुछ करो दिखा रहा हूँ ना कुछ करके अभी तुमको सॉल्व करना है troubleshoot. Now, have a look. Interesting troubleshoot. See, this is the router and the client we have, right? All the servers is configured and all the server has a proper IP addressing configured, right? DHCP server is configured. The client is not getting the, if we go to shut down, no shutdown. I'm not getting the IP. Tell me what will be the reason. I'll tell you the configuration. I can't show you the configuration right now. I'll tell you the configuration and you tell me what was the reason. IPDSC pool is configured. Pool name is ABC. And in this network, I'm going to assign the 192.168.1.0/24. Default router is also configured 1.100. The PC is not getting the IP address. What will be the reason? According to you, what will be the reason? Server is up right now. I can ping it. All good.
Ethernet type is missing.
Normal DHCP is there. No, no Ethernet type. Normal DHCP is there. So everything is same VLAN right now. All the pods on the same VLAN. DHCP server is there. Everything is configured. I put the no shutdown command on this guy, right? And on this interface, if you see, I can show you the client configuration, right? IP address DHCP is there.
सर कमांड फायर करो ना देखिए एड्रेस DHCP
कर तो दिया फायर कमांड
दोबारा करो
ले IP address DHCP फायर दोबारा कर दिया. Please do not have pool does not have a enough IP. That is the one of the reason, right? That's one of the reason. But I have allocated the /24 over there. But I have just a single user right now setting.
Client identifier.
Client ID normal DHCP is there. No need to client identifier. But Discord packet to page, right? Try to understand the troubleshoot. Client is sending the Discord packet.
सर ध्यान
ले, he is sending the Discord packet. Just I'm hinting over there. He's sending the Discord packet.
अरे वो खोलो ना
क्या server? Wireshark. Router 1 follow. Router 1 is sending the Discord packet to the server. Server is not responding. हुआ है ऐसे कैसे हो जाएगा भाई? Router 1 is sending the Discord packet, but server is not responding. लगाओ दिमाग जितना लगा सकते हो. ACL नहीं configure. ACL is not configured. I am not denying any UDP packets. And this thing yesterday we have seen. हाँ. मैंने बताया था. मैं हमेशा बेसिक पढ़ाता हूँ. बेसिक में हमेशा पढ़ाता हूँ. Different same broadcast domain is there. Same broadcast domain, same IP, same VLAN. Nothing is configured. All IPs, DHCP is configured. Everything is configured. Router one side, client is configured. DHCP is configured. No shutdown is configured. I'm not getting the IP. And he's sending the Discord packet. He keeps sending the Discord packet. ले दे दे भाई IP. सर्वर का करना. मैं नहीं दूंगा IP. क्या रिलीज? मैं रिलीज कैसे कर दूंगा? 80 value to 6.
Thing on the lease timer.
Lease timer. Lease I haven't configured the lease. See the configuration IP DHCP pool ABC network and this one default order.
आपने कोड ढंग से नहीं बनाया
कुछ भी पूल ढंग से नहीं बनाया. अबे गधो. So control plane. Host open ports. या 67 इनेबल है.
बंद कर दिया आपने
हाँ तो मैं उसमें हाँ बोल थोड़ी नहीं देता. सुन तो रहते हैं लोग की बकवास है. I have disabled the port. Basic command that you missed in the examinations. Pool was configured, right? Just he was sending the Discover packet, right? With the port number what? Destination is 67, source is what? 68. But he's not responding. It means that what? Port number is not available on the server side. कुछ भी मतलब इतना सोच ही नहीं पाया ना. इतनी छोटी चीज. So guys, write down this command. This command is not available in your book. मैं मॉर्निंग वाले में DHCP नहीं पढ़ाऊंगा. This is a hidden command. Service DHCP command is hidden. So troubleshoot करने के लिए always use this part. So control plane, host of inputs. Always use this part. Now tell me one thing. If I'm going to disable the interface 0/0 shutdown, I'm going to shut down this interface. Okay. And I'm going to disable the no service DHCP on the client side. Will this PC will get IP address? Scenario based question for the interview round. The service DHCP is enabled. Service DHCP is disabled on this client. Will this client will get the IP address from server? पक्का अबे गदर कैसे चलेगा तुम लोग काम मिल गया आईपी रीजन बता दो क्यों मिल गया ये भी नहीं बता सकते हो I'll tell you the reason what this command is doing service DHCP this guy is going to open the port number which port number this guy is able to send the Discord packet 67 is open right 67 is closed over there so when this guy is giving the offer packet in the offer packet what is the source and port number 67 is a port number and 68 is a destination so usko matter nahi karta na 67 is open or not because what destination port number is there so it doesn't matter 67 port number is open or not I will accept the IP address खत्म कहानी फंस गए
मतलब 68 ही बंद हो गया
ऐसे कैसे हो जाएगा 67 ही बंद हो रहा है now clear guys anyone has questions no so guys done for the today we'll see you tomorrow अरे मुझे आज घर
क्लास